Have you ever stood at the edge of a great opportunity, your heart pounding, your mind racing with doubts, wondering if you're brave enough to take the leap? What if I told you that the key to conquering those fears isn't about eliminating them entirely, but about acting as if they don't exist? Today we're exploring the power of acting as if you're fearless, inspired by the legendary Napoleon Hill, the father of modern personal development. In his groundbreaking book Think and Grow Rich, Hill interviewed titans of industry like Andrew Carnegie and Thomas Edison, distilling their secrets into principles that anyone can apply. One of the most transformative is this idea of embodying the person you aspire to be, even when fear whispers otherwise. As a young person in a developed world full of endless possibilities yet overwhelming pressures, like job market competition, social media comparisons, or economic uncertainties, you might feel paralyzed at times. But imagine waking up each day with the quiet confidence of someone who's already succeeded. That's the power we're tapping into here. Over the next 20 minutes, I'll guide you gently through this concept, sharing insights, stories, and practical steps to help you embrace it. Let's begin this journey together, shall we? 1. Understanding the nature of fear. First, let's talk about what fear really is and why it grips us so tightly, especially in our modern lives. Fear isn't just a fleeting emotion. It's a survival mechanism wired into our brains from ancient times, designed to protect us from real dangers like predators or threats. But in today's world, particularly for young people in places like the US, UK, or Australia, fear often manifests in subtler, more insidious ways. Think about it. The fear of failure when applying for that dream job, the anxiety of rejection when starting a new relationship, or the dread of financial instability amid rising living costs. These aren't life-threatening, yet they can paralyze us, keeping us stuck in comfort zones that feel safe but ultimately limit our growth. Napoleon Hill understood this deeply. He observed that successful people aren't fearless by nature. They've simply learned to manage fear differently. In Think and Grow Rich, he emphasizes that fear is often a product of our thoughts, indecision, doubt, and worry that snowball into procrastination. For instance, a young graduate might hesitate to launch a side hustle because they fear it won't succeed, leading to years of regret. But here's the caring truth. Acknowledging fear is the first step. It's okay to feel it. It's human. The key is not letting it dictate your actions. By recognizing fear as a mental construct rather than an absolute truth, you begin to loosen its hold. Imagine a world where you view fear as a misguided advisor rather than a boss. Gentle, isn't it? This shift alone can open doors you never knew existed. Let's build on this as we move to the next point. 2. The core principle, acting as if. At the heart of Napoleon Hill's philosophy is the powerful technique of acting as if. This isn't about faking it in a superficial way. It's a deliberate mental and behavioral practice rooted in autosuggestion, one of Hill's 6 steps to turning desires into reality. He believed that by vividly imagining and behaving as though you've already achieved your goal, free from fear, you program your subconscious mind to make it happen. It's like rehearsing for a play where you're the star, confident and unafraid. For young adults in developed countries, this can be a game changer amid pressures like student debt, career pivots, or societal expectations to have it all figured out by 30. Picture this. Instead of approaching a job interview with trembling hands and a mind full of what-ifs, you walk in acting as if you're the perfect candidate, speaking with poise and clarity. Hill drew from real examples, like how Henry Ford acted as if his vision for affordable cars was inevitable, despite ridicule. This mindset isn't magic, it's psychology. Studies in positive psychology echo Hill. When you embody confidence, your body releases endorphins, reducing stress and enhancing performance. But how do you start? Gently, my friend. Begin small. If public speaking terrifies you, practice in front of a mirror, acting as if you're addressing an adoring crowd. Over time, this builds neural pathways, making fearlessness feel natural. Remember, Hill said, whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. You're not deceiving yourself. You're aligning your actions with your potential. This principle has helped countless people break free. Could it be your turning point too? 3. Building inner confidence through daily habits. Now that we've grasped the as-if principle, Let's discuss how to build the inner confidence that makes acting fearless sustainable. Napoleon Hill stressed the importance of daily habits to reinforce a positive mindset, turning fleeting motivation into lasting change. In our busy Western lives, juggling work, social media, and personal goals, it's easy to let fear creep back in without consistent practice. Start with visualization, a cornerstone of Hill's teachings. Each morning, spend 5 minutes closing your eyes and picturing yourself succeeding fearlessly, negotiating a raise with calm assurance, or launching that podcast without second-guessing. Feel the emotions, the pride, the excitement, as if it's happening now. This isn't woo-woo. It's backed by neuroscience, where repeated mental rehearsals strengthen brain connections, much like athletes visualize winning before a game. Next, incorporate affirmations. Hill advocated repeating positive statements to counteract negative self-talk. For a young person facing imposter syndrome in a competitive job market, try saying, "I am capable and fearless in pursuing my dreams," while looking in the mirror. Say it with gentleness toward yourself, like a kind mentor would. Pair this with physical habits. Exercise to release tension, or journaling to process fears rationally. What if that nagging doubt about starting a business is just a story you've told yourself? Write it out, then counter it with evidence of your strengths. Real talk. Building confidence takes time, especially when societal pressures make us compare ourselves endlessly. But as Hill noted, persistence is key. Those who quit too soon never see the gold. By weaving these habits into your routine, you'll notice subtle shifts. Decisions come easier, opportunities seem less daunting. You're nurturing your inner expert, one day at a time. Let's see how this plays out in real stories next. 4. Real-life stories of transformation. To make this principle come alive, let's look at real-life stories inspired by Napoleon Hill's teachings, showing how acting as if you're fearless can lead to extraordinary outcomes. These aren't just anecdotes. They're proof that this works for everyday people like you and me. Take Sarah, a 28-year-old from Sydney, Australia, who dreamed of switching from a stable corporate job to freelance writing, but was crippled by fear of financial ruin. Influenced by Think and Grow Rich, she started acting as if she were already a successful writer, networking at events with confidence, pitching articles boldly, even when her knees shook. Within 6 months, she landed her first major client, and now runs a thriving business. Sarah's story highlights how, in developed economies with abundant resources, fear often stems from abundance of choice rather than scarcity. By embodying success, she turned paralysis into progress. Or consider Mike, a young engineer in the UK, facing redundancy during economic downturns. Instead of succumbing to panic, he acted as if he were indispensable, upskilling online, proposing innovative ideas at work. His proactive stance not only saved his job but earned a promotion. Hill would say Mike transmuted fear into desire, a key alchemical process in his philosophy. And let's not forget historical figures Hill studied, like Madam C.J. Walker, who acted as if she were destined for wealth despite immense barriers, becoming America's first self-made female millionaire. These tales remind us, fear is universal, but so is the power to overcome it. If they could do it amid greater challenges, imagine what you can achieve with today's tools, online courses, supportive communities. Feel that spark? It's your potential awakening. Now, on to tackling those inevitable obstacles. 5. Overcoming common obstacles and setbacks. Even with the best intentions, obstacles will arise when you start acting fearless. It's part of the growth process. Napoleon Hill was candid about this in his writings, noting that setbacks are tests of your desire. For young people in the West, common hurdles include perfectionism, fueled by Instagram perfect lives, or the fear of judgment from peers. One major obstacle is the inner critic, that voice saying, "Who are you to dream big?" Counter it by acting as if it's just noise. Hill recommended a mastermind group. Surround yourself with supportive friends or mentors who believe in you. If isolation hits, as it does for many remote workers, join online forums or local meetups, embodying the social butterfly you're becoming. Another is procrastination, often fear in disguise. When a task daunts you, like applying for grad school, break it into tiny steps and act as if each is effortless. Reward yourself gently afterward, a walk in the park, a favorite tea, to build positive associations. What about failure? Hill viewed it as temporary defeat, not permanent. If a venture flops, act as if it's a lesson. Analyze kindly, adjust, and proceed. Remember, in countries like the US with safety nets, failure isn't fatal, it's feedback. Economic fears? Act as if abundance is yours by budgeting wisely and exploring side gigs. By addressing these with compassion, you transform roadblocks into stepping stones. Hill's own life was riddled with failures before success. Yours can be too. Stay persistent, dear viewer. Your breakthrough is closer than you think. 6. Integrating fearlessness into your career and relationships. Let's apply this to key areas of life. Career and relationships, where fear often looms largest for young adults in developed nations. In your career, acting fearless means pursuing passions despite uncertainty. A 25-year-old in New York might fear leaving a secure but soul-crushing job. Hill advises, visualize your ideal role, then act accordingly. Update your LinkedIn, network assertively. This mindset shifts you from reactive to proactive, attracting opportunities. With remote work rising, act as if borders don't exist, pitch globally. In relationships, fear of vulnerability can lead to loneliness. Act as if you're worthy of love. Initiate conversations with warmth, express feelings openly. Hill's principle of harmonious relationships underscores success. Fearless authenticity fosters deeper connections. Balance is key, don't burn out. Act fearless in setting boundaries, saying no to overcommitment. For mental health, amid rising anxiety stats in the UK and Australia, incorporate mindfulness. Meditate acting as if peace is your default. These integrations create a holistic life. You're not just surviving, you're thriving, embodying Hill's vision of riches in all forms: wealth, health, happiness. 7. The long-term rewards of a fearless mindset. Finally, envision the long-term rewards of consistently acting as if you're fearless. Napoleon Hill promised that this leads to not just success, but a fulfilling life of purpose and joy. Over years, you'll accumulate wins. Promotions, meaningful relationships, personal milestones. Fear diminishes, replaced by resilience. In a world of rapid change, AI disruptions, climate concerns, you'll adapt fluidly, acting as if challenges are opportunities. Spiritually, it fosters inner peace. Hill spoke of faith. Acting fearless builds it, connecting you to something greater. For young people, this counters burnout, leading to legacy building. Mentoring others, starting movements. The ripple effect? Your courage inspires family, friends, communities. Imagine a world where more act fearless. Innovation soars, kindness prevails. It's a gentle evolution, one action at a time. You've got this. Hill believed in you, and so do I. As we wrap up this exploration of Napoleon Hill's powerful principle, take a moment to reflect. What fear have you been letting hold you back? And how might acting as if you're fearless change that? Sit with it gently. Perhaps journal your thoughts tonight. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Share one takeaway from this video or a personal story of overcoming fear. Your insights could inspire someone else on their journey. If this resonated, please give it a thumbs up. It means the world and helps spread these timeless lessons. Subscribe for more content on personal growth, Napoleon Hill's wisdom, and strategies to live your best life. And share this with a friend who needs a nudge toward courage. Together, we can all step into our fearless selves. Thank you for joining me. Until next time, act boldly and believe in your power.